Good morning, everyone. You guys can find a comfortable seat. Um, yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. It seems like almost everyone's here, but we'll get going. So if you want to just grab a pillow, or maybe if you have blocks, good morning from Ro and I. I will be teaching the class this morning, and Ro will be demoing for us. Okay, as mentioned, you're just going to find a nice comfortable seat. Whether that's kneeling or sitting with your legs crossed. If you are sitting with your legs crossed, I just like you to push your feet a little bit forward ahead of you, creating more space, allowing the sacrum some space to open up. And also, that also takes a little bit of pressure off your ankles. So, just there where you are, you can relax your hands in your laps, on your knees, wherever feels comfortable. And we can start by closing our eyes. Take a couple of deep belly breaths to ground yourselves. Breathing in from your feet all the way up to the top of your head. And as you exhale, exhale through your body down your feet. What does your left leg feel like? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it tense? Is it relaxed? Restless? Just take note. Noticing what the right leg feels like. Just carrying on with nice, slow, full, deep breaths in and out through your noses. And then moving to your ankles, your feet, each of your toes, just noticing what they feel like this morning. Imagining that you've got a submarine exploring inside of you and watch as it tours around the whole body. Allow the submarine to travel through your stomach, your arms, your fingers, hands, funny bones, shoulders, elbows, neck, back, head, face, and nose. When you feel yourself daydreaming, just gently bring yourself back to your body and breathe. Feeling into every nook and cranny of the body. Feeling tense spots, stored emotions, old aches and pains. The new undiscovered treasures, and genuine joy that comes from connection. If you find any unnecessary tension in your body, sending a few more deep breaths. The breaths will help dissolve any tension. And again, if you find that your mind is traveling, just bring it back to where you are now, focusing on the present moment, feeling into what is real, what is now. You can very slowly start to open your eyes, just half gazing straight out in front of you, taking in the light, the colors around you, taking in texture. And just lightly start to scan with your eyes, just slowly scanning with the eyes. Maybe you notice something that you haven't seen before. And then holding onto your knees, you're going to get a nice firm grip. We'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow, warming up the spine in a seated position. You can also go ahead and just swap your feet. So if you are on your bum, you can just bring the opposite leg forward. If you're on your shins, you can remain there, or you can join us. Sitting on your bum, feel free to slide a pillow in underneath. Getting a firm grip, you're going to pull yourself forward. As you lift up through your chest, lean forward as if you may be going into a bit of a forward fold. Take a big breath in as your lungs are wide and open. And as you breathe out, take your chin to your chest, lean back, pull your ribs in, pull your belly in, and breathe out. Breathing in, pull yourself forward, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Breathing out, chin to chest, draw back, lean back as you grab hold of your knees. As you breathe in, pull yourself forward, lift your gaze, roll your shoulders back. In your own time, moving through a few more rounds, seeing if you can tap into each and every vertebra, rippling through the spine, setting that attention to the back, noticing each part. This is a great place to connect with your breath. Meeting me back in the center. We're going to start to make circular movements. So you're going to lean over to your right hand side, bringing your left shoulder to your right knee, take a little twist to the right. Then sweep yourself forward through the center over towards your left hand side, take a little twist with the right shoulder to the left knee, and then keep circling backwards and keep going over towards your right hand side. Just making full circles as if you're stirring a pot. Again, great opportunity to connect with your breath this morning. Full, big, slow breaths, as well as full, big circles. And we're going to change our direction. Notice what you feel, maybe a bit of a side body stretch. Try to keep your sit bones grounded. And finishing off your last round. Sitting nice and upright, just finding some length through your spine here, relaxing your shoulders. You're going to open your arms up into a T. Thumbs can point up to the sky. Start to draw your arms back behind you, almost as if you want to touch the back of your palms together. Taking a nice big breath in. As you breathe out, bring your arms forward, take your chin to your chest, lean back, squeeze the palms round your back as much as you can. Breathe in, start to lift your gaze as you open your arms, lift your chest, reach your arms far back behind you. And as you breathe out, chin to chest, reach the arms like a bird flying, flapping its wings, squeeze the palms together. Breathing in, opening the arms up, shoulders go back. And as you breathe out, bring the arms forward, pull your ribs and your belly in one more time. Breathing in, opening your arms up, gaze forward and up. And as you breathe out, bring the arms forward, pull the ribs in. Just there, you can interlace your fingers. And then turn your palms forward. So you're just going to flip them forward. On your next breath in, take your arms up towards the roof. Take your chin down towards your chest and keep pulling your arms to the backs of your ears. From there, holding onto the back of your head. So you can just bend into your elbows, place your hands into the back of your skull, close to the neck area. And you can still take your chin a little bit more down, maybe let gravity help you here, and allow your elbows to collapse in towards one another. Again, this is gravity doing the work. So imagining anything dropping, there's no resistance, there's only gravity taking you down. You can take a little bit of a forward fold here, allowing your upper body to pull you forward. And gently bringing yourself back upright again. You can release your hands by your sides. I'm going to straighten our legs out onto the mat. So just moving yourself. Maybe you have to shift. Bringing your right foot onto the inside of your left thigh. Drop and open the right knee up towards the right hand side. Either holding with your left hand onto your left shin, or bringing your left elbow onto the inside of your left knee with the palm facing up. If you do have a block, you can also put your forearm onto a block. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Gaze back behind you, whatever there is, a TV, a wall, a painting, and twist to look a little bit further back behind you. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we fold sideways, taking your top hand towards your front foot without compromising, staying open in the top body. So I want you to keep looking up underneath your right armpit. Maybe even bringing that bottom shoulder a little bit forward and rolling your top shoulder backwards. Feeling secure and grounded through your sit bones. And I breathe here for 3 easy breaths. Full belly breathing. And on your next breath in, you can pull yourself all the way back up and reach your hands down. We're going to go over to the other side. You can slide your right leg out, left foot comes up, opening the left knee out to the side. Right hand holds onto the ankle, or bring the right elbow onto the inside of the right knee with the palm facing upwards. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Twist a little bit while you're here. Use your breath. And as you pull your belly in, that will help you twist a little bit more. So twisting through the belly, the chest, the shoulders. Taking a big breath in, reach nice and tall. And as you breathe out, reach that top arm all the way overhead. You might get the foot, you might not. I'd rather let you stay open through your front body. Gazing underneath that top arm, keep looking as far back behind you as possible. And we're here for 4 breaths, noticing what you feel. Just ease up a little bit if the stretch is a bit tough or a little bit strong this morning. We just woke up. We're still giving our bodies the opportunity to wake up. So back out a little bit if you need to. Breathing for 2 more belly breaths here. And slowly bring yourself back up and out again. Making a diamond shape with your feet, or with your legs, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can push your heels slightly ahead of you. And then bring opposite hand to opposite knee. So we'll start on the right hand side, right hand to the left knee. And we'll do the same side body stretch. Take your right arm up to the sky. Try to look far back behind you. Spot anything that's quite far back in the corner behind you. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, we fold sideways forward. We're going to make this flow. So as you breathe in, pull yourself up. Take your back hand down onto the mat. You can put the hand down or the forearm. Then release the front hand. Take it up to the sky. Reach it back behind you and lean back. Keep that side body or back bend as Rose doing. Pull yourself back up. Right hand holds onto the left knee. Back arm reaches all the way up to the sky, forward and over. Pull yourself back up again. Back hand goes down. Right arm reaches up, either leaning backwards or sideways. One more time. Right hand grabs hold of the left knee. Back arm sweeps up and over. And pulling ourselves back up again. That top hand comes down to the ground, reaching the front arm up and back. Bringing yourselves back up again, twisting towards your right side. The left hand is going to take hold of the right knee. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Again, we'll start to twist here first. Just dissolve a little bit of tension around the hips if you feel quite locked in that area. Looking far back behind you. Use your left hand to pull your right knee to help you twist, draw your belly back. Big breath in as you breathe out. Reach that top arm forward, taking a nice side stretch. Pulling yourself back up again. The top hand releases back behind you. Release your front hand, reaching it back. Push yourself back up, grabbing hold of the knee. The back arm reaches up and overhead as you fold forward. Pulling yourselves back up again. Top hand comes down to the ground. Front hand reaches up to the sky. Maybe bending that back elbow, lean back. One more time, holding onto the front knee. Take that back arm all the way up and over. And you can bring yourselves back up again. All right. You can finish that last round if you like. Otherwise, you can all meet me in a all fours position. You can just swap your feet around and bring yourself onto your knees with your hands underneath your shoulders. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. You're going to curl your toes in underneath here. Taking your chin to your chest, push your bum forward, round your back like a cat stretching. Lift your knees a few centimeters away from the mat, start to float them. Now really lock into your lower belly. Keep squeezing the inner thighs, the bum, pushing through your hands, doming your back even more. This is a great time to switch on deep, solid, strong breaths. Stepping your feet back into your high plank. From your high plank, keep your hips in line with your shoulders. Stretch your heels back behind you. Really stretch forward, reach forward through the crown of your head. On your next breath in, lift your hips up to the sky. Lower your heels, coming into a downwards facing dog. Take your time here to paddle your dog, maybe shifting weight from one hand to the other. So basically you're a triangle or an upside down V shape. You'll notice when the hips go up, the hands start to lift away from the floor. So just reinforce that by gripping into the mat with your hands. Rather bending into the knees, getting a nice straight spine by pushing the belly back, almost as if you want to kiss your knees. Gazing forward in between your hands, we're going to slowly start to tiptoe our feet forward. So rising high onto your toes, as if you're treading through water. Slowly start to walk your feet forward towards your hands. If you can't get all the way to the front, you can slowly take your hands and walk them back towards your feet to give it a little bit of help. Once you're at the top, breathe in for a halfway lift. So fingertips either on the mat or on your shins. Make sure your back is flat, lengthening the back of your neck. Pull your shoulders back, draw your belly button in, gripping into the floor with your feet. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, drape your belly forward over your thighs. Release your forehead down, gazing back in between your legs. Relax your shoulders. Taking a few easy breaths. This is our first forward fold. Bending into your knees, sit your bum down as if you're sitting onto a chair. Reach your arms out in front of you. Squeeze your palms to touch. And then lifting your arms up as high as they would go, maybe even gazing up to your thumbs, sitting down through your butt 3 more centimeters. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, fold forward, taking your hands back down to the ground. Breathe in back into your halfway lift, straight flat back. Step your left foot far back onto your mat. Drop the back knee down onto the ground, come onto your fingertips. Send your chest forward as if you're leaning forward with your chest and sink down into your hips as you bend into your front knee. Plant your hands flat onto the ground, step back into your downwards facing dog. Lift the hips high, push the heels down to the ground. Gazing forward in between your hands, start to tippy-toe your feet forward. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Bend your knees, reach your arms forward, palms to touch. Lift your arms high, maybe your gaze. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Step your right foot as far as you can back onto your mat. Drop the back knee down onto the ground. Sink your hips forward, lift your chest and reach forward. Plant your hands flat onto the floor. Step back into your downwards facing dog. Step your right foot forward in between your hands as far up as you can possibly step it. And then we're going to go into a bit of a chair with our back leg wrapped forward around the front. So you can take a couple of hops or you can float. You can watch row. So you're going to float that left leg forward. You're going to lift it high up and over the right thigh. Got to find some balance here. Try to wrap that left leg behind the right calf or push it into the side of the right calf. Take your left elbow, bring it in underneath your right elbow. Wrap your elbows around your forearms. Bring your palms to touch or maybe the backs of your hands. Push your elbows forward away from you and sit your bum down. Beautiful. You can release your left foot next to your right foot. Take your hands down to the floor, coming back into your forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Step your left foot back onto your mat. Drop your back knee to the floor, lift your chest up. And breathe in, step back into your downwards facing dog. This time the left foot is going to step forward. We're going to do the same thing on this side for eagle with the arms and the legs. Left foot steps. Try to keep your float and your balance. That right foot comes forward. Try to keep it off the ground. Wrap it. Lift that leg as wide and as open as you can around the left thigh. Right arm comes underneath the left. So you're going to cross the elbows. Try to push your elbows forward to dome a little bit into your upper back. Squeeze your inner thighs as you sit your bum down. Release your right leg. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, forward fold. Bring your hands down to the floor. Breathe in, halfway lift. Step your right foot far back onto the mat. Drop the back knee down onto the ground. Lift your chest, almost like you're going horse riding. Plant your hands down to the floor. Step back into your downwards facing dog. Gazing up towards your belly button. We're taking 5 slow, big breaths here. If you can help breathing in and out through the nose, this relaxes the body, sends lots of oxygen to the muscles. Deep breath in through the nose. See if you can make that breath a little bit audible as you breathe out. Drawing the breath fully into your belly, your side ribs. Breathing out. Keep pushing with your hands into the floor. On each out breath, see if you can push your heels a little bit lower, a little bit more down to the ground, and then really squeezing your thigh muscles nice and tight. Guys are going to get another chance. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Swing that left leg forward, wrap it forward and around your right thigh. Bring your left arm underneath your right, cross the elbows. Get the backs of the hands or the palms together. Push your elbows forward, sit down. It's really important to squeeze your legs together. Compress them as much as you can. We're going to unhook the left leg and we're going to step it far back onto our mat without the left foot touching the ground, without letting it drop. Step it nice and far back onto the floor. You can keep the back heel lifted or you can spin the back heel down onto the ground for warrior one. So just feeling into your hips. What feels good to you? Your hips, your shoulders, and your gaze still aim straight forward ahead of you. Lowering both hands down to the ground. Drop your back knee to the floor, lift your chest up, sink your hips forward. Step back into your downwards facing dog. Left leg steps forward. Grounding into your left leg, find your balance as you swing your right foot forward, wrap it around your left thigh. Right arm comes in underneath the left. Squeeze those legs together. Nice strong breaths in and out through the nose. Sit down. Keep your arms where they are, and you're going to start to lift your right leg up. Keep it in the air. Sweep it back as if you're pushing through syrup with that leg. Go as far back as you can. Drop it down behind you, either staying in high crescent or spinning the back heel down onto the ground for a deeper hip opening. Sinking forward into your front knee. Pull your ribs down, squeezing into your tummy. Bring both hands down to the floor. Drop your back knee down to the floor. Lift your chest, sink forward into your front knee, bending that knee, sink your hips down. Step back into your downwards facing dog. Again, we're going to look up to our belly button for 5 breaths. If at this point you need to take a little break, you can come into a child's pose, so onto your knees with your forehead down for 5 breaths. Otherwise, hold your 5 breaths in your downwards facing dog. So this is an opportunity for a bit of a rest. Allow your heart rate to come down. Everyone meeting in downwards facing dog. So we'll start to make it flow a little bit more. We're building onto the sequence. Right foot steps forward in between the hands. Sweep your left leg forward, wrap it around your right leg. The left elbow comes in underneath the right. Lift your left knee up into your chest, unwind, reach and kick it back behind you as if you're pushing through syrup. Drop the foot down to the ground. Spin your back heel down, opening your arms up into a warrior 2 position. Sinking forward into your front knee. Cartwheel both hands down to the ground. Drop your back knee to the floor. Lift your chest up. Drop your hands. Breathe in. Step back into your downwards facing dog. Left leg steps forward. Swing your right leg through. Wrap it up and over your left leg. Right elbow comes underneath. Squeeze the palms. Lift your right knee up as high as you can. Push it back behind you, lift it up, stepping nice and far back onto your mat. Spin the back heel down onto the ground. Release and open up into warrior 2. Arms stretching into opposite direction, keeping your shoulders over your hips, bending into the front knee. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor, spin onto the back ball of the foot, drop the back knee, lift your chest up, and step back into your downwards facing dog. Last round, guys. You can always skip the eagle legs and eagle arms with the chair pose and just do normal chairs. Step your right foot forward. Swing your left leg through. Get your left elbow underneath your right. Lift your left knee as high as you can into your chest. Push the foot back behind you. Slow motion, step it back onto your mat. Open your arms up, spin your back heel down. Flip your front palm up to the sky. Reach your hand forward. Lift your arm up and over to reverse your warrior. Spider crawl your back fingers down your back calf. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Drop your back knee to the floor. Lift your chest, breathe in. And as you breathe out, push back into your downwards facing dog. Left foot steps forward in between the hands. Swing your right leg forward and through. Wrap it around for eagle legs. Right elbow underneath the left elbow. Take your time. Find your balance here. Lift your right knee up to your elbows as high as you can. Step that right foot far back onto your mat. Spin the back heel down, opening your arms, warrior 2. Flip your front palm. Reach it forward, up and over to reverse your warrior. Let those back fingers slide down your back calf. Lift your gaze up to the roof if that's okay for your neck. See if you can puff your chest and your armpit up to the sky, almost as if you want to stick yourself onto the roof. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Come onto your back knee. Lift your chest up, big breath in. Step back, lift your hips back up into your downwards facing dog. Gazing up towards your belly button. Settle, ground, feel pressure through your hands and your feet. Our last round, we'll be jumping forward. If that is in your practice, do join us. If the jump is not in your practice, you can step 1 foot at a time. So bending into your knees, take your time with this one. Imagine that you've got a block underneath your body or maybe a chair, and you're trying to jump with your feet up and over that chair to land your feet as close as you can to your hands. So you have to think that your legs go up to the sky as high as possible. Your hips and your legs go up to the sky, and you're almost resisting your landing when you come down. So bending the knees, finding buoyancy. And when you're ready, take that hop forward. Breathe into a halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Sink your bum down, reach your arms forward, sitting into your last chair of the morning. Squeeze your palms together. Gaze up to your thumbs, taking your arms as high as you can. We're here for 5 breaths. Squeeze your inner thighs. This is tough. Put on your tough faces. 1, 2. Push the bum forward a little bit. Squeeze the palms together. 3. Sit down. Sink your weight back. 4. And 5. Last breath. Bring your hands down to the floor. Forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Plant your hands flat onto the ground. Either step or hop back into your high plank. Rolling forward onto your toes. We're going to drop our knees, our chin, and our chest to the floor. So squeeze your elbows, touching your side ribs as you go down. Slide yourself through onto your belly, releasing the backs of your feet. Press lightly through your hands. Lift your chest. Hug your elbows in towards your body, your midline. And rolling yourself back down to the ground. Once you're there, you're going to open your arms up. And you're going to bring the tips of your fingers to the outside. So you're going to bring your fingers onto the outside of your mat, off your mat, basically. You're going to stay on the tips of your fingers, and you're going to push your elbows forward so your elbows are pointing up to the roof. You can keep yourself down for now still. As you push your elbows forward, you'll see that your forehead comes closer to the ground. So keep pushing them forward, 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 forward. And then pull your elbows back behind you, trying to touch them onto the floor behind you. And you'll see that your head and your chest will come off the ground. So pull your elbows back. You can push a little bit through your fingertips. Take them as low as you can to the mat. And then taking them back up to the roof, push your elbows forward, lowering yourself down to the ground. Breathe in as you push your elbows back, lift your chest, lift your gaze. As you breathe out, bring those elbows forward. Breathing in, pull the elbows back behind you. And then stay up, just lift your elbows so that they're pointing directly up to the roof. And we'll lift ourselves up just a little bit higher by pushing into the fingertips. Make sure that your butt is squeezed tight, your lower belly is almost lifting off the mat, and the backs of the feet pressing firmly into the floor. Now we're going to twist, so look over to your left elbow. Twist and lower your right shoulder as if you want to aim it towards your right hand, lower it down to your left hand, lower it down to the ground. Breathe in, push yourself back up to center. Twist your left elbow towards your right hand and lower the elbow to the ground. Lower the shoulder to the ground. Breathe in, come back. Twist towards your left side. Lower that right shoulder to the floor. You just go as low as feel comfortable to you. Breathe in, come back to center. And then twist the left elbow towards the right hand. Lower it to the floor. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Moving through a few more rounds in your own time. Coming up to center, twist and lower. Maybe you just want to let the elbows come rocking backwards and forwards again. So just feeling into it. Maybe you need to move your head from side to side a bit. And when you're ready, you can slither yourself down to the ground, coming all the way down. Slide your hands in underneath your elbows. Squeeze your elbows in. Using the strength of your arms, you can either do a straight push-up here or you can push up onto your knees. So curl the toes under for a push-up, legs tight. And we're going to push up either onto the knees, and then everyone meet me in a plank position. So if you're on the knees, just stepping up into a plank. Nice strong plank position. Start by floating your right foot off the ground. And then there's an option to come onto your left fingertips, or maybe extend your left arm straight out in front of you. Got to keep those hips down, guys. This is not a downwards facing dog. If you want to do this with your right knee down, you can, or just keep the right foot up. Sorry, the left knee down, pardon. Holding it for 4 more strong breaths. Lower your left hand down to the ground, lower your right foot to the floor. We go over to the other side. So left leg goes up. So if at this point you want to drop your right knee, you can. And then the opposite hand goes onto the fingertips. So the right hand's onto the fingertips and the arm reaches forward. So you can do it like this, like Rose on his knees, or you can be in a straight plank, maybe challenging yourself to lift the back leg. Squeezing into the lower belly, lock down. The legs and the arms are straight and active, kicking back, reaching forward, holding it for 3 more breaths. Really pushing into the mat with your left hand. Try to dome your upper back, protracting those shoulders away from each other. Bringing your hand, your feet back down to the ground. Meeting us in a high plank position. Roll forward onto your toes. You can take any variation of Vinyasa. So you can drop your knees, or you can just bend your elbows, lowering yourself down halfway. Pushing through your hands, lifting yourself into either a cobra, or maybe an up dog with your hips off the ground. Chin to chest, you're going to pull your hips all the way back up into your downwards facing dog. 1 more strong plank, rolling ourselves forward into a high plank. Really pressing down. You're going to stay nice and strong here. Gripping into the mat with your hands. Bending into your knees so that they float just off the mat. Nice. Try to round your back, chin to your chest. And straightening your legs back out into your high plank position. Holding your high plank for 5 more strong breaths. 1. Push those heels back behind you. 2. 3. 4. 5. Lift your hips up to the sky. We're going to step or hop forward, crossing the ankles to come sit down onto your bum into your boat pose. So take a little hop, or maybe just sliding your feet forward, lifting your legs up, either keeping the knees bent or straightening them up to the sky. Lift your chest up. Place the soles of your feet down onto the ground. Roll yourself down onto your back. Plant your hands flat onto the floor. Put your head down and lift your hips up into a bridge position. Slide your heels closer to your bum if you need to. Pushing into your hands, you really want to squeeze into your lower belly, just that space underneath your belly button. Squeezing into your bum, drag your shoulders and your heels towards each other. Roll yourself back down onto your back. And you lift your head and your chest and your feet back up into your boat position. Either straight legs or bent knees. Place the soles of your feet down onto the ground. Roll yourself back down onto your back. Once you're down, heels back to the bum, pushing into your feet. Lift your hips up to the sky. Interlace your hands behind your back. Walk your shoulders in underneath. Keep your head on the floor. Again, dragging the shoulders and the heels together. Squeeze your knees together. Release your hands, pressing down into the mat, rolling down upper back, middle back, lower back. Lift your head and your chest. Lift your feet off the ground. Push and pull yourself up. Come back into the boat position. Lower your feet down to the ground. Carefully take yourself back down to the mats. Reach your arms up and overhead. Bring your hands next to your ears with your elbows pointing up. So you're going to let your fingertips point down towards your heels. and your hands are next to your ears, flat on the floor, the elbows hug in towards one another. Maybe even pigeon the toes slightly, squeeze your belly, squeeze your bum, push your rib cage down and keep that contraction through the belly. Lift your hips up to the sky, squeeze your elbows in, push into your feet, push into your hands. Maybe you can float your head and your shoulders a few centimeters. Maybe you can push up onto the crown of your head, or maybe you can go all the way up, straightening your arms into a wheel position. Easy, listen to your bodies. Gently chin to chest, wherever you are, bring yourself down to the ground. Lift yourself back up into a boat position. And we're going to speed it up a little bit, guys. Lower yourself down onto your backs. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips pointing forward, elbows in. Push into your feet, push into your hands, lifting up as high as you feel comfortable with, maybe just to the hips up or maybe into a wheel. Lowering ourselves down to the ground and lifting yourself back up into a boat position. We've got 2 more. Let's go back into a bridge position or a wheel pose. Last one, lifting yourself up into boat. And then we're going in for our last bridge or our last wheel. Take yourself down to the ground, hands next to the ears. Feel the legs and the arms quiver as you really push through them. Those elbows hug in, the knees hug in, the legs, every part of your body engaged. And bringing yourself down to the floor. You can draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug here, gently rolling yourself from side to side. Massaging the muscles along the spine. Maybe bringing your forehead to your knees. Holding onto the backs of your knees. We're going to rock ourselves backwards and forwards along our spine. Every time you go back, see if you can take your feet a little bit further back. Try to do it really slowly so that you're not crunching back onto your neck. And as a little challenge, added challenge this morning, you can use momentum. See if you can catch yourself on your feet without using your hands into a chair. So it sounds crazy, but if you get enough momentum, you can drop your feet and stand up. So give it a couple of tries if you need to. So rocking backwards and forwards. If you have to use your hands, that's okay. Use your hands, but try without your hands. Have fun with this. See if you can squeeze your legs together. And then once everyone is in a chair position, you can drop your hands to the floor, step or hop back into your high plank. Take 1 more vinyasa. We haven't done a lot this morning. Lower yourself down. Breathing in to lift your chest up and meeting me back in your downwards facing dog. Gazing up towards your belly button, 5 breaths. So really be in your downwards facing dog. Feel every part of your body. Feel from the backs of the heels to the Achilles to the calves, starting to feel the thighs as you squeeze and engage them, really pushing through the arms, rolling the elbows in towards one another, squeezing the rib cage down. There's so much that you can do and feel into in a downwards facing dog. Rolling yourself forward into a high plank position. Nice strong high plank here. Draw your right knee to your right elbow. Take your right knee to your left elbow. Take it down to your left wrist. Take it to your right wrist. Pick it up to your right elbow. Take it to your left elbow. Left wrist, right elbow, left wrist, right elbow, step back, high plank. Other side, left knee, left elbow, right wrist, left elbow, right wrist, left elbow, left wrist, right wrist, left elbow, last one, right Right wrist, take it back to your left wrist, lift it up to your elbows, squeeze and crunch, stay back into your high plank and carefully make your way down onto your bellies. You can drop those knees or you can keep a straight plank. Reach your arms by your sides, relaxing onto your cheek. Take a little breather, maybe shake out your lower back. Interlacing your hands behind your back. Squeezing your palms together. On your next breath in, lift your head and your chest and your fists up and away from you. So you're going to lift your hands away from your bum, lift your chest up, squeeze those shoulders back, lift your chest up, push into the backs of your feet, and lower yourself to the floor. One more time, this time the legs come up too. Breathe in, head, chest, hands go up, lift the feet. If it's okay for your lower back, squeeze the big toes to touch. Lift yourself up a little bit higher. From here, bend your heels into your bum. If you can, grab hold of your ankles or your feet. Then push with your feet or your ankles into your hands. Lift your chest up, maybe rocking backwards and forward onto your belly a couple of times. Lifting up a little bit higher. Push, 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 push. Lift up and lower down. Relax your feet. Your legs go down. Shake your back out, releasing your hips. Slide your hands back in underneath your elbows. Again, option to take a straight push-up. So if you're going to go for the straight push-up, think of letting your bum lead and not your chest. Okay. If you're going to do the knees, push down into your knees, elbows hug in, and we're going to push 5, 4, lift the hips up, 3, 2, 1, back into your high plank position. From your high plank, you can lift your hips back up into your downwards facing dog. Making our way forward onto our bum once more. So either taking a hop or a step forward to come sit down onto your bums. Pressing the soles of your feet onto the floor. Sweep your hands far back behind you with your fingertips facing forward or out to the side. There's about space for 2 fists in between your feet. Pressing down into your hands and your feet. Breathe in, lift your hips up to the sky. Squeeze your bum up. Nice. Try to gaze a little bit further forward ahead of you to keep the back of the neck long. Lifting up one more time. Squeeze into your bum, squeeze into your feet and your hands, and lower your bum down to the ground. Coming back into the diamond shape, bring the soles of your feet together, this time holding onto your ankles or your feet. Breathe in, lift your chest up. As you breathe out, fold forward, chin to chest, take your forehead down. We're going to roll up again. Roll yourself back up to a seat. Breathe in. Push your chest forward. As you breathe out, roll forward. Take your forehead down to your toes, chin to chest, rolling yourself back into a seat. Breathe in, gaze up. Breathe out, fold forward. Forehead comes down to the toes. Last round, chin to chest, roll yourself up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, fold forward and take your forehead down to your feet. We're here for 5 slow, big belly breaths. 1, 2, try to press the knees down to the ground. 3, 4, and 5. Rolling ourselves back up to a seat. This time we're keeping our back straight. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, pull yourself forward into a forward fold. Try to keep your back straight. So push your bum back behind you, push your chest forward. Try to aim your chin to your big toes, almost like you're trying to put your chin over your big toes onto the mat. So you keep gazing forward ahead of you and you can pull yourself forward, keeping that back straight. So just go as low as you can. If you can put your chin down onto the ground in front of your big toes, go for it. Otherwise, just lower yourself as low as you can. And we're here for 5 belly breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rolling ourselves back up again. Draw your knees in towards each other. Heel toe your feet to the outside edges of your mat. You can support yourself with bringing your hands behind your back, and we're going to windscreen wipe the knees from side to side, dropping whichever side you want to go first. Maybe right knee down through the inside, coming back through the center. Left knee goes down, right knee goes down. In your own time, you can just windscreen wipe the knees from side to side. Then drop both knees over towards your right hand side. Stay there. Bring yourself upright, so walk your hands closer to your bum. Twist towards your right hand side. Take your back hand forward. We're going to fold forward over your right leg, so aiming your forehead towards your right knee as you fold. Try to twist a little bit more, almost as if you're trying to put your forehead onto the outside of your right knee. Use your hand to twist yourself a bit more. Twist yourself past that right leg, as far past as you can, and then maybe lower the forehead to the floor. And you can bring yourself back up. We're going to just do a counter twist. So walk your hands over towards the left-hand side, just as far as you can. Twist and take a little fold forward here. It's not going, might not be that much here. And bring yourself back up. Swing the knees over towards your left side, or if you were on the left, to the right side. Sit up nice and tall. Twist towards your left leg. Walk your hands past the left knee and fold yourself down. Your right bum will lift off the ground. That's perfectly fine. Just keep staying grounded through your left bum. And bringing yourself back up to center. You can take a little counter twist, twisting yourself to the other side. Maybe you'll stay upright. Maybe you can take a bit of a fold forward. Sitting up again. You're going to straighten your legs out in front of you. Last posture for the morning. Flip your left leg back behind you. You're going to open the knee up and really, really, really wide. You might even sit sideways on your mat. So instead of having the legs together, open them wide. The back, the left leg is bent, the right leg is straight. Take your hands right in the center of your two legs. So right in the center line. Walk your hands in front of you. Maybe you stay quite up tall here. Maybe you can fold forward in between your legs. If you're feeling a lot of pressure here, maybe bring your back knee in a bit. And just folding forward. Maybe allow your head to drop. Maybe just stay here. We feel you guys, we know this one is really tough and it can feel really tight. Don't sweat it at all. Just breathing. It helps to do it and to just be present and to dissolve the tension with your breath. Relaxing your jaw, your shoulders, your neck. And slowly bringing yourselves back up again. We'll go to the other side, so you can straighten your left leg, maybe give it a bit of a shake if you need to. And then the right leg sweeps back. Bending into the knee, bring the back heel nice and close to your bum, opening the legs wide. Position your shoulders over your hips and then walk your hands forward or stay upright, doing the same on this side that we did on the other. Allowing yourself to surrender in this space. We'll be here for a few more moments. Nothing to hold on to here. Last two belly breaths. And you can bring yourself back up again, straightening out your right leg. Give it a little shake if you need to. And you can start to make your way down onto your back. Find a nice comfortable position if you need a blanket or if you like to switch a light off or close a curtain or open a curtain. You can make your final adjustments now, maybe taking a sip of water. Make sure that you're absolutely comfortable however you lie. So if it's not that comfortable for you on your back, maybe you can lie on your side or put the soles of your feet on the floor. Scoop your bum under, just making that space underneath your bum a little bit less, or underneath your lower back a little bit less. Walk your shoulders down and away from your ears. And then you can close your eyes. Rest your hands wherever feel comfortable. Your pinky toes are feeling tired, let them drop to the mat. Just enjoying a few moments of silence. This is not time to do our to-do lists. Nothing is that urgent. Give yourself this time. This is a very important time for your body to reflect on the practice, to draw all the benefits into your body, into each and every cell. Allowing yourself to recalibrate. This is part of the process, is the part for rejuvenation. Taking a few slow, easy breaths. On your breath out, feel your body heavy and melting into the floor. Give yourself these few moments to notice what you feel like. Embracing every feeling that comes up, any sensation, whether you feel uncomfortable or you feel good, whatever that feeling is, just start to embrace it, take it on. Thanking yourself for the willingness to show up, to not shy away from yourself, to work your body and to work your mind. Just watch yourself, notice what you're doing. Are you watching boredom? What's coming up in the mind? You feel really good. Try not to hold on to that. We're way beyond what our minds get up to. Just letting go whatever is coming up for you. You can slowly start to move your fingers, your toes, stretching out, maybe rolling the ankles, the wrists. Reaching your arms over your head, give your body a big stretch. Flopping yourself over to your left or your right hand side. Using your hands, you can slowly bring yourself up into a seated position. Joining your hands into your heart center. I'm just going to read something to you guys this morning. I don't usually do this, but I thought it was something that I want to share. So sometimes things come up, and not just your blissful, happy, joyful, loving self or stuff, but after some time on the cushion or on your mat, it will be far easier to accept all of it, all parts of it, even the difficult stuff. Accepting everything removes the charges that our feelings carry. Just sit with them, they won't bite you. Thoughts are just thoughts. Uncomfortable thoughts, weird thoughts, creepy thoughts, bad, mad, sad, evil thoughts enter everyone's mind, so let them be. By allowing them to share the stage with you, all of your other thoughts, they lose their power. They're just thoughts, they don't own you. Taking a nice big breath in. As you breathe out, lower your chin to your chest. Good. Thank you guys so much for practicing with us this morning. I hope that you guys have a blissful, beautiful day ahead. It's good weather outside, so get some sun. And yeah, thank you again for practicing with us. Have a good Saturday.
Thanks,
Pleasure.
guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Lekker Nicolaas, ek bly jy kon weer join. Cool, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.